Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are, this is episode 4 of 16-Bit Rivals with Mr. Ridges. Hello. Mr. Y. Callum. Hello. And me, Lord Gamer. So we're recording a special episode today. There is no news. There is news, but this is recorded shortly after episode 3. Ridges is moving house, so no internet, so we won't be able to do episode 4 on the usual time, so that's why we're recording ahead of schedule.
Yep.
We've each picked a topic, and we're going to chat for 15 minutes and not 1 second longer on each topic, so it doesn't matter where you are. If you're talking and 15 minutes are up, end of conversation, next topic, and then you're out. So I hope you enjoy this different format. We will get back to the regular format as soon as possible for episode 5. But yeah, so what we're going to do today, we've picked 3 topics and we're going to go through that way. So yeah, guys, we okay with that? We all good?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, of course, we're going to end on a mini game.
Of course.
Mini game.
We're
going to start with Y. Callum and his topic. And then when you're ready, Callum, you tell us your topic and I will start the timer.
Hello and welcome to Y. Callum's topic. Oh yes, well thank you. Stop it. No, my topic is the game Witcher 3.
Oh. Okay.
So Witcher 3 was a game that was released, I've got on my phone, on the 18th of May 2015. And it has just registered 40 million sales.
Wow.
Across all platforms. And my argument is, it is one of the best games of its generation.
It is very good.
Discuss.
Okay. Yes. Well, first of all, I think I'll start and say I completed Witcher 3 and absolutely loved it. And it is one of my favourite games of this generation. Yeah, as a series, and I'll just quickly give a background of I played Witcher 1, Witcher 2, and I didn't complete any of those. Witcher 3 was the only game in the franchise where I was like, okay, I get it. This is great. What about you, Ridges, or history with Witcher 3?
I haven't finished The Witcher 3. I bought it. I think was it on 360? No.
Yes.
It was. Yes. Yeah. It was. It's been on a few.
Yeah, I had that, and then I've got the definitive edition. Is it? I've got every DLC. I have played it. I am not far off finish it. I don't think. I do a lot of games. I just get sidetracked. I did, however, complete The Witcher 2, and I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
It's 2 discs. But no, I agree. It's a very, very good game. The story is very good. I just think to say, it's a long game, isn't it? You know, and like you know, I kind of I do like long games. But like I tend to. Well, I was enjoying it that much. I've done a lot of the side quests. I probably would have finished it if I hadn't done all the side quests. But I got a bit, then I was kind of got like, I've played a lot of this, I need a break, and then I haven't gone back to it. But I'm pretty close to the end. So,
but sometimes a game is so enjoyable that you almost want to elongate the experience by doing the side missions. And I mean, I'm an absolute sucker for not completing a game through exactly that. Yeah. Like it just playing it too much. And one of the main reasons I wanted to talk about Witcher 3 on this podcast of all podcasts was I believe Witcher 3 has one of the best mini games of all time.
Gwent
is absolutely sensational.
I spent many hours playing Gwent on Witcher 3.
Sometimes I would go on and play Witcher 3 for 2 to 3 hours and not leave the Gwent table.
Yeah,
it's that good. It's that good. And my wife probably likes Witcher 3 more than I do, and I love Witcher 3, but she was absolutely obsessed to the extent when we've bought that like special edition cards. We've got Gwent the game in cards, and we've got like 3 or 4 of the decks that they have on there. And I just thought, for our podcast, you know, being famed as we are, as I'd argue one of the best mini game podcasts in the current area.
We're gaining a quick reputation.
Oh, I mean, iTunes are talking about us, Spotify are talking about us, you know.
I do believe I maybe saw it on Graham Norton or something. And
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, we just found this podcast out, and you know, we playing along with the mini games. Can't remember the guests, you know, but they all said that they played.
They all loved it. I think David Hasselhoff was on that week, and he in particular loved it.
David Hasselhoff, so huge fan. Huge fan. So I think, Callum, maybe because
shout out to the Hoff.
Shout out to the Hoff.
Big fan of the show.
Big fan, yes. Both, all the shows. But Callum, why don't you? I mean, it's your topic, so maybe you tell us why you love Is Gwent the biggest part of why you loved Witcher 3, or is there?
I don't think it's the biggest part. I think as a story, there's not been many games in the open world the size of a game like Witcher, which I think at its core is so good as a story. And Geralt as a character is really, really good. He's one of those characters where, you know, RPGs can go one or two ways, can't they? They can be a game where you create the character, or you have a character who you follow by. And Geralt is a really, really strong character, hence why there's now a TV show, you know, the books did very well, all that sort of stuff. And but then the supporting actors are very, very good as well.
Supporting stories as well, really.
Yes.
Side quests are some of the best side quests in any game ever, really, in my opinion, which is probably why it's easy not to complete the game. And also, I can't even remember the area. It might have been Skellige. Mm-hmm. Actually, for me, this is the little minus column. That area for me was one of the worst games. It was the one that was basically water with like one little bit of land, and then you'd go swimming for about 45 minutes to get to where you wanted to go, and there'd be nothing there. You're like, I'm crying out loud. You need a high-speed boat here. I need a speedboat. This game would be so much better.
Yeah. Oh.
I can't remember if it was Skellige or one of the other lands in the thing, but that one section of the game
didn't enjoy it.
Very frustrating for me.
But I mean, when you look at the vastness of the game, to be able to go that small area wasn't my favourite, it's testament to the game, isn't it? Really, I don't know. I think it's. I think it really does stand alone as a game that has just captivated most of the people who've played it, and I'm glad it's been made into a TV show. I don't know whether you two have watched the Witcher show.
Season 1 and 2, which there we are.
See, Go on, sorry.
Sorry, no. I don't know if you want to give our quick opinions on the TV series, but I thought season 1 was a bit of a mess.
Okay.
I thought the way they handled the time skips and everything, I thought was just it's such a well worn out trope. The whole we're doing it in the past, but it's actually the thingy. But it's very to get it right. Sometimes I just feel like they didn't get it right, which made it a bit of a mess. Season 2, a lot better, a lot more focused, and I feel like it's a series that will get better with every season. But I didn't like the first season.
I completely agree with you. Because I went into it like Witcher. I love The Witcher. Like, I can't wait for this TV series. And there were points where I was watching it with Laura and I was just like, what's going on? Where are we? That person's dead. Why are they now alive and talking to everyone? And she's like, oh, you just don't get it. Obviously, they've just gone back in time. They've come to here and now they're alive again because it's in the past. I'm like, yeah, but that's not been explained. How am I supposed to know that they were dead 2 minutes ago? This makes no sense to me.
It's just the way it was done as well. It's just like you can get away with doing stuff like that, but I don't think they wrote it particularly well, and it just was a mess. It was just like, let's too many skips at one time, and I just didn't. I didn't enjoy it. I do think, what's his name? The Witcher.
Geralt.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, Superman. Yeah, I did think Henry Cavill, obviously, is the absolute perfect fit for the character.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's such a big sort of geek dork like he loves the series, I think is a big plus. I think you do need someone like that when you're creating a.
You know who I love in it as well? I love Dandelion. And I think some of the music in it, and in the game as well, but in the series and the game, is so good. Like, it's so good. And some of the songs and stuff, like, in particular, the Dandelion ones in the series, I absolutely love them. They're brilliant.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's a great character. But, yeah, there is... Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So, well, I don't think we got Richard's opinion on this TV series.
No, I'm totally agree with you. The first one, like you say, it's quite hard to follow, bit of a mess. Second series, much better. I like the gearing up there. I think they followed the story very well in the second season.
I agree. Yeah, it did follow it well.
They've spent more time building up the characters, you know, and like how it ended and everything was great. It leaves you wanting to see what's going to happen. So yeah, you say he's just waiting to see when the next, you know, as long as Netflix don't cancel it.
I think it's still due. I think they're going to do. They've definitely agreed.
Yeah, I think they they always change their mind. But yeah, hopefully.
It's doing well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is doing well. It is doing well.
Also, The Witcher 3, the game, has been out many. They're supposed to be doing
7 years. Isn't it?
It's been out
7 years. 2015. Yeah.
It's been out.
So I suppose the question to round off the topic is. We've seen.
5 minutes, by the way.
Oh wow! Have we really? I thought we were well over.
I mean, we can finish early on the topic.
No, I won't round it up. Like this is probably 5 minutes of talking anyway. The new game. So they've released. You know, the fact there is the next game. What do we think it's going to be? Because, you know, most people are thinking it's not going to be Geralt. So where do you go? Is it going to be a completely new Witcher?
I think they've said it's going to be a new. School, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. So it's going to be in the world, but not. I don't think concentrating on any of the main characters in.
I think it'll be back in time with a different Witcher. Maybe when the Witchers were first made, and it'll follow.
I think that would be awesome.
It'll be a prequel, but yeah, based on the Witchers, how they first become. Witchers, and you might be the very first Witcher or something, and it'll follow that story about being.
That game's so far away. Obviously, we've still got the Witchers 3 release on the next gens. That was supposed to come out as well.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they're ordering on. They're releasing it on everything possible, aren't they? I mean, initially when they released. Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, initially when they released it on the Switch, I was like, "Oh, Witcher on the Switch. That sounds interesting." Then I went, "No, it doesn't. No, that does nothing for me. That would play like a potato. Why would I want that?"
It plays well.
It does play well, yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't look as great, but if you're playing handheld, it actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. But as soon as you put it on the TV,
yeah, I think if you're going to put it on the TV and you've got other means to play it. Do that. If you are going to predominantly play handheld, it's such a really, really great way to play. And to have such a big game on a handheld, you know, it's really good. And they did a really good job with.
Make sure you've got 100 battery packs.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
It's like they did a really, really good job of it. And
I haven't actually tested out my battery link on the OLED yet, but I know I borrowed it and I played it, and I think it lasted an hour and a half before on a full charge, and it died.
Blimey.
So
then that's not handheld, then, is it really? If it's dying after that amount of time,
most like games that were of like on a different console, didn't last very long. Breath of the Wild was like an hour and a half to 2 hours as well. So
you can get up to 5 hours on the new consoles.
Ooh, okay.
So on the red box Switch and the OLED, you can get up to 5 hours, and it was something like 2.5 hours on the original, on like full brightness, sound, all that stuff. Depends, obviously, you know, it is.
So maybe you will get like 4 hours off it on the OLED.
Yeah. So I think you can do that, but I think when it gets re-released on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, are you going to pick it up and replay it?
I don't.
Is it an update or is it a buy?
I think they're just updating the graphics, giving it maybe a lick of paint.
I'd certainly have a look at it. It's a game that is replayable without a doubt.
Question though, Callum, is would you pay $69.99 or whatever it is? Yeah. So.
No, I wouldn't pay it. But if it's an update, then I would absolutely give it a go. I mean, quite a lot of games have got these sort of patch updates, haven't they? That take them into the next gen consoles, and they do make a difference. So I'd be intrigued. I would be intrigued. I feel like I'd be edging it onto one of our other topics there. So I'm not gonna go on to that. But
yeah, well, that's it. So I think we will see. We will see. I don't know if I would replay it. It depends again on when it's released, what the changes are, and what's around the games around it. If I'm heavily into another game, I probably won't go, let me replay Witcher 3, because it's such a big game. I've done that. I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, so we'll see. But it's next year. It was supposed to be this year.
I thought it was supposed to be this year as well. Yeah.
I think it's been delayed into next year. Could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if you want to correct me.
Yes.
You can do that anytime you like. I'm bound to get things wrong on a weekly basis. So, and what about you, Ridges? You gonna replay it? Do you think?
I don't think so. I've got it on a console, and it'll be alright. It's one of them games. I mean, it's still quite good if you go back to it. Graphics wise, it's not terrible.
No, it's not.
No, it
still looks good.
Yeah, 100%.
Like say, if it was a paying for it or playing the one I've already got, I just play the one I've already got.
I'd be intrigued to know how much they could improve it, to be honest, because like even watching it back now, it's pretty good.
You know, it doesn't matter. So anyway, bing, 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 bing. That's the Witcher 3 topic done. Right, jump onto Ridge's topic next.
Okay, so my what I'd like to discuss with you guys is what your first consoles were and any memories you have, favourite games from it. So my very first console was the NES with Super Mario Brothers and the gun with Duck Hunt, which was given to me by my uncle. And yeah, that's where my love of gaming come from, and love of Nintendo. So like I loved there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on there again, which is why I love playing the new one, Shredder's Revenge, recently. Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. What else did I play on there? There was so many games. We had I just had it in my head again. McDonald's game, which I do own. I do own a NES still. And I would love to get it all set up again, which I'm planning to do. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about games really. So like you say, it was great. It's groundbreaking, the NES for everyone. What are your thoughts on the NES?
I mean, I never owned the NES, but I did play it. So I was predominantly a Sega kid. I loved the Nintendo, but I never owned one. It was something other people owned, like the SNES, and I didn't own a SNES. I owned my first video game console was the Mega Drive. I did own Amstrad first, and I was playing games. Used to go and pick the big discs up, the old floppy discs. And used to go to the shop and just pick out. That looks fun on the back of the box. So I'll have a bit of that. It was like there's maths-based games where you had to 3 + 4 move the frog. I can't remember. There's loads of rubbish.
Oh, I had an Atari as well. I've done this, and I do remember picking it up at a car boot and playing like Hong Kong Phooey and James Pond, and there was an egg one as well, like Indiana Jones, but I can't remember what it was called.
I mean, so those are some of the games that you mentioned. I did play as a kid, but I didn't own as a kid. The ones I sort of owned, the Sonic the Hedgehog games, 1 to 3, Sonic and Knuckles, sort of Streets of Rage.
The 9-in-1, the 9-in-1 game with columns.
Contra. There was, there's so many. Golden Axe as well. Strider was a good big favourite. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but the Mega Drive was like, I have fond memories of playing it, but I have fonder memories of being a Nintendo fan, even though I was predominantly a Sega kid. I think it's one of those where when you don't have it, you want it more, don't you? So I think it was one of those. But yeah, Sega all the way, sort of. Could all those type of games. Alex Kidd.
Alex the Kid. I used to play because I had Mega Drive. My cousins had Mega Drive, and we used to play Eternal Champions a lot. That was a pretty cool fighting game, and Comic Zone as well.
Comic Zone. I vaguely remember Comic Zone, but not.
It was so cool because it was like a comic. You went side down and down.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And the bad guy was like drawing. It was really good. And then Revenge of Shinobi as well. So
yeah, there were so many good games back in the day. I mean, there's
RoboCop versus Terminator.
Oh, RoboCop, yeah, RoboCop, another. Oh, World of Illusion as well, the old Mickey Mouse game.
Yeah, I do. I have. I've got the mini Mega Drive with that on it.
I've got the I didn't get the Mega Drive. I got the SNES, but I didn't get the Mega Drive one. Callum, then, what was your first console?
You'll notice I've stayed incredibly quiet during this conversation. My gaming history started when I was about 21. To be perfectly honest, I have when I was younger, I had my first console was a Game Boy. I used to borrow. Someone mum and dad worked with N64, so I used to play Banjo-Kazooie on the N64. Which I absolutely loved, but I'll be honest, my gaming history is incredibly limited, and it's I as I've mentioned in
Game Boy and N64, you do realise they are retro now.
Yeah,
I am aware they're retro. However, I barely played any games on them. So I think the Game Boy I bought because I liked Pokemon. So I bought Pokemon Yellow. Well, I say I bought. My mum and dad bought Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Silver. I played all of those games, but I would just play them to death. I would just play them for hours and hours and hours, finish the save, start again, play them for an hour. I wasn't someone who regularly bought new games. It just wasn't what I did as a child, and it would be the same and then as I got older, I'd buy that year's FIFA and I'd play that year's FIFA till that year's FIFA ran out, and then I'd buy the next year's. So it was only really once I went to university where I started getting into games, because I was in the same halls as a couple of people who absolutely loved games, and so that's what we did in university. But games wise, like I say, other than maybe the early Pokemons, I also used to play Woody Woodpecker's Racing, which was a cracker on Game Boy. I think Richard's mentioned it in the last podcast. Wario. I think I played Wario on Game Boy Advanced. I enjoyed that. But yeah, like I say, just
did Laura then have a big impact on your gaming then?
Really, I think she also got into it when we started seeing each other. We played at Mario Kart a little bit when we first started seeing each other, but I think that was the extent of the gaming together. But genuinely, I mean, it's only recently I think I could probably start calling myself a gamer. And like I've said before, I'm a terrible one because I go, oh yeah, I definitely want this game, research it for weeks, watch reviews, talk to my mates about it, they all tell me I won't like it, then I spend 50 quid on it and then I don't like it, and that tends to be my loop with games. I've got games all behind me there, I've played those ones, but then I've got way more downstairs that I haven't touched barely. So yeah, that's just
but that's the thing. So I mean, this is maybe going off topic, but do you know, since I've been streaming, I've been playing games less because I'm in other people's streams or I'm doing the thing, and it's a shame, but at the moment it's fine because there's not anything really I'm playing to a heavy extent at the moment. But I do think I sort of fell off a little bit and then come back to gaming after a couple of years or so of not playing anything. Breath of the Wild was the big one that drew me back in. I remember saying to myself, if this game sucks, I'm never ever touching another game. If this game can't draw me in, being the huge Zelda fan that I am, I'm done. I'm not playing games anymore. And I've got to be honest, I played the first hour of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I thought, uh-oh,
I'm back.
Done. No, I'm
done. Oh, the other way.
I think it was just my negative attitude. Always going with a positive attitude. I was going in with a negative attitude, but it turned around for me, and since then I've exploded back into where I was before. But in terms of first console, Mega Drive. I think the first console I ever bought myself. So obviously the Mega Drive, I was super young. I didn't buy myself. The first console I ever bought myself was a GameCube. Absolutely loved the GameCube. That was the first console I ever bought with my own hard-on. I did not. Use the hard-on to earn any money to buy any video games ever. Oh, Callum's gone.
Just walks into the store. Boy, I'd like a GameCube, please. Tia.
If I could do that, I would be buying every console with my hard on. I've got no qualms with doing that if that was a means of payment, but I just don't think anybody would accept that as a means of payment.
I think we've already got our comment.
Hard-earned cash is what I was trying to say. I did earn that cash with the hard-on. Unfortunately, nobody will ever accept that as a form of payment. I would say
well, we've peaked. We've peaked. That's the best it's ever going to get.
Yeah, I apologise if I have offended anybody with my rich language.
Next topic.
We've still got 4 minutes.
Well, you mentioned, if I could try and bring us back on track, you mentioned about streaming, which is obviously slightly off topic, but about how, because me and Ridges have talked about this before as well, how we game less now we stream, and I it's something that is always hard to take, I think, because I know, dangerous, but it's one of those where, like, whatever you're playing, I will quite often be like, I really want to carry on playing, and then I have this inner conflict of, well, I shouldn't because I can't, because people aren't watching the stream, and then it almost invalidates it, and then I'm almost conflicting against myself and going, what on earth am I saying? Like, no one's gonna care. Like, no one is gonna care if I carry on playing a game. But like, it's almost like your inner morals are like, no, I've started this. I need to carry on playing it through stream. It's really, really hard.
It is hard, but I think this is where I've gone. I don't know if you call it wrong, because I think you should play what you enjoy, and people should come and watch you, whatever. So I started playing one of my favourite games of all time, Breath of the Wild. That's why I thought, if I'm going to stream, let me play something I enjoy.
Yeah.
And then I started playing Call of Duty, which I never really enjoyed ever. But I enjoyed streaming it. And then obviously playing with Ridges, and we had a big thing about me getting my first victory. That was really fun. But then we got my first victory, and immediately I stopped enjoying it. But I have never, other than recently where I completed Metroid Dread from start to finish on stream, I don't complete games on stream. I don't play games predominantly on stream. I just go, here's a game I'm playing today. And I'll play 20 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours, whatever. And then the next time I stream is a completely different game. The next time I stream.
But then if you play a game, like I absolutely loved watching you play the Goose Game. The Untitled Goose Game, like that was genuinely, I would happily watch you complete that game. Like, I really enjoyed that because I like the game and I like you, so two things come together. But it was would you then? So let's say hypothetically that game there, you've played it for what, half an hour because you were showing lots of games, weren't you? Is that it then? Have you not touched it since that stream?
So I have not played much. So I played like I say. So I've tried to play I played the Live Alive demo. I played when I did stream. I played another little indie game, A Short Hike. I haven't touched any of those games since that stream. I haven't had much time to game. I haven't had much time to stream. And actually, Sunday's my streaming day. But we recorded the podcast, and I really enjoy doing that more than the streaming at the moment.
Yeah.
So if it's a choice between streaming and podcasting, then I will podcast. But
sorry.
Yeah.
So you're sort of jumping around. So you're not. It's not the same scenario as me in the sense of I want to play through. You're sort of going right. I'm going to play an hour of this game on stream, and then you're just not playing it again. You then next stream you'll move on to the next one.
Yeah. So I'll play new games that I buy. I'll play them for an hour or two on things, and my way of sort of framing it is I just want to showcase this game, give a quick initial opinions on it, and then move on. Because I don't particularly enjoy playing through the whole game. Because I want to get the headset on. I want to listen to the music loudly without having to stop it, pause it, or do you know what I mean? I like the rhythm of playing the game sometimes. So
I've had similar problems where, in a way anyway, where I've played a game on stream. Like a really good example is I did a Pokemon Nuzlocke on stream, and Laura was away for the day, she was shopping or something, and I think it was a 7-hour stream. It's my longest stream by a mile, and in my opinion the best stream I ever did, because it was the jeopardy in it was ridiculous. In that amount of time I barely did anything. But because if you don't know, very, very briefly, a Nuzlocke is basically if you have a Pokemon, it dies and it's dead forever. So I lost Pokemon really, really early on, and that was amazing. And that 7 hours was like gold. Like I was like, this is. I even watched bits of it back. I was like, this is fantastic. The rest of it wasn't as good. Like it just wasn't as good. And I was like, right, I've got to play this through. It's the challenge. But in reality, if I'd gone a bit like Flawed there, I've given it a taster. I know it's a 7-hour taster, which is ridiculously long, but I've given it a taster and I'd left it there. I think it would have gone, I'm actually quite proud of that. Yeah. But when I continued it, there were streams I genuinely did for 2-3 hours where I walked away and I'd message Ridges after go, I really didn't think that was a very good stream. Like I didn't enjoy that because it's like grinding, or it's doing the boring parts of a game, which I personally wouldn't watch. Like I wouldn't watch that, and that's me doing it, and I'm saying I wouldn't watch this. So it's hard to find that balance, I think, with streaming. I know we've gone completely off topic here, so I apologise, Ridges.
Time on the thing. I didn't want to interrupt you there.
Sorry.
50 minutes. So, I mean, Ridges, we did touch on your topic for
we poked it, and then Flawed got filthy, so derailed it.
Yeah, we went down in a different direction because this is a special episode that we are doing to keep the content rolling.
If that's not something we put on our Twitter, I don't know what is. Like that's just like clip the minute or something. I mean that's gold. That's absolute gold.
Well, we can certainly embarrass me.
I know the last time I fell off my chair laughing.
But yeah, I have verbal diarrhea. I do make no mistakes when I'm talking. We'll get into my topic now, which is what's most important to you as a gamer. I've just labelled 5 things. I don't even know if they're the good things, but gameplay, graphics, music, length, and innovation. So I'll start it off. I think obviously everything's equally important. Innovation's less hard to do in sequels. I think we're going to come across a stage where, for example, 2 of the most highly critically acclaimed games of this generation, God of War and Zelda Breath of the Wild, both having sequels within the next year, let's say. I think they will come under fire for not innovating and being as different. They can't wow us in the same way they did when they released. So I do think they're all really good. I'd say music for me is really super important, and there's so many games, there's so many good soundtracks, and that's one of the reasons why I love indie games, is because I believe they hold some of the best music in gaming.
Definitely.
Emma, Celeste, or Messenger. I used to do, when I started streaming, actually, going back to streaming, I did a soundtrack heaven stream where I'd just play a game. I thought the soundtrack was really great. So I'd just play the game, and I'd more be listening to the music, and they'd be like, I love this game. Ori as well. Ori, yeah. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful soundtrack. Sound design, great. Yeah. Gameplay is obviously high. I would say for me, the least important out of those 5 would be graphics and length, and then innovation somewhere in between, and gameplay and music at the top, really. So, because the length of the game, I've played games that have been 2 hours and loved, up to 200 hours and absolutely loved. The length of the game does not matter. Sometimes I want more, sometimes I want less. It does matter, but not as much as the others. Innovation, you can only innovate so much. So we can have great games that just do more of the same. But yeah, so I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I would say for me, I'm going to quickly score. I would say gameplay, music, graphics, innovation, length. If I was to
just wanted to go on to something you said there, where you don't think they will, God of War and Breath of the Wild 2 will wow you, but do you not think, even if they did stick to the same, but obviously stories change and what, it's still going to be a very good game?
No.
I just think people expect quite a lot now. They always think something should change, but like, why change something that's not broken?
No.
And that's my thing. Like, I am going into them 2 games fully expecting them to be as good as they were. I don't care if the gameplay is different. If the gameplay is exactly the same, but the story's continued, because they're story-based, God of War, story-based, it finished, they got the new weapon last time, so you had the axe, the axe return. But then if you've played the game, it goes back to the blades and you can switch them and whatnot, but the blades predominantly take over, so it reverts back to, the other God of Wars, the God of Wars, and, but, for me, that maybe add a couple different moves, because his son's older now. That interaction with the son and the moves you could do, that, but he's taller now and bigger, so that might be different. But again, with Breath of the Wild, the mechanics, there's still people figuring out things now on Breath of the Wild. You see videos of people going, I remember when I was watching, it's like, oh my god, you can use your shield to slide down the bank, and you can, and there's people doing all sorts of things, like making things with for the lightning to strike, and like making basically like a long line of metal arms to blow something up, and all sorts of different things, and people are still finding things to make on it. So
innovation.
So that game again, it's came out in 2017. It is 5 years old. God of War was 18, I think it was, in 2018.
Although Ridges, I understand what you're saying, because you're basically saying you love this game, so why does it need to change too much in the sequel? But there was like Overwatch 2 was released, wasn't it? And I know we're not talking about the same game there, but Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 were very, very similar, to the extent where people were saying, why wasn't this just a DLC? And that would be my argument to your point there. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong, because I'm not, but I would just maybe say, if what you're saying is all you want is a continuation of the story, what's different between that and DLC?
The Overwatch, because it's a shooting game, so there's no story essentially. So I would agree with them that it could be a DLC, because it's technically new maps and new characters, which lots of games do.
Yeah.
But with the God of War franchise, they're continuing the story. So they finished one story, they've got to build that story. So it is a new game.
No, I don't agree. Because Witcher 3, we talked about Witcher 3 before. They had 2 DLCs, which were brand new stories.
Yeah, but the extra stories weren't like They weren't like 60, 70 hours big, were they?
I don't know. They were big. They were big. I don't know the exact hours. I'll find out for you now.
20 to 30 hours.
Yeah,
They
so
were.
would I.
I think there's an argument for both, but I do believe, obviously, this game has been in development long enough. It's a full-fledged game where they're basically, it's not going to just be more of the same. The length of time that you produce a game is in effect a sequel rather than a add-on. So they really do need to charge full price for that.
And it is only PS5 as well, isn't it? It's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's PS4 as well.
PS4 as well, yeah. And I think they did that because PS4 have just got such a huge install base that they want to sell
copies,
a lot of copies. And at the moment, they're still struggling to produce PS5s. But yeah, I think there is an argument for both. It just depends on everything, really. I think because the continuation of a story is important, and they did say this is going to finish up the sort of Norse storyline of God of War. This is going to be the end of that sort of chapter. But again, I think God of War, I think the Zelda team can't help but try to innovate all the time. So even in the short trailer that we got, which was about 20 seconds, as you see new systems and stuff. The actual sort of physics systems in Breath of the Wild took years to develop, which was one of the major reasons why it was delayed several times. And that's one of the biggest playgrounds in gaming that people still mess around with. But anyway, we're sort of again getting off topic.
It's so easy when we're just having a lovely chat. I'll say mine. I've just literally off the cuff done them. I think the story is the most important thing, depending on obviously the game. If it is a story-based game, it needs to be the most important thing, and I think that's what carries games regardless of all the rest of the things, in my opinion.
Do you know what? I think you made a good point. I didn't actually put storyline in one of the 5 things.
Oh, I apologise. What was the other thing you put in then? I've got 4.
Storyline, I should have put storyline in the 5. That's but gameplay, graphics, music,
gameplay,
animation. So...
Right. Okay. Gameplay is probably it's now a 6, Flood. I'm going to go story, gameplay, graphics, innovation, music, length. For me, length is completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter, and a lot of games I play are infinite. So you know, Football Manager doesn't have an amount of time you need to play it. It's just you just play it. And it goes on and on and on. Music, I understand what you're saying. I maybe don't play the same sort of games as you two that are so dictated to by music. I enjoy good music in a game, but from my perspective, if the music is all right, doesn't really bother me. It just doesn't add any more, I suppose. Innovation, we've touched upon it, so I won't flog a dead horse, but I think it can be the big selling point of a game. It can be just, you know, something that is completely brand new. But I don't think it's the be all and end all. Sometimes, like Ridges says, if you've got something right, you don't need to change it for it to be good still. Graphics are massive for me. I really enjoy, you know, a game that looks beautiful. I will persevere with longer, which is probably quite shallow, really, in a way. But I will give it more of a go, because if I'm like, oh my God, look at this. This is incredible, you know. Like Horizon is a really good example of that. I barely played any of the game, but the amount of times I was like, I need to take a picture of this. This is just so beautiful, you know. I appreciate a game with good graphics. So yeah, that's sort of what I would place them, I suppose.
Okay. Richard, do you want to?
I can add storyline if you like. For me, gameplay would be top. I mean, I have played games that have a great story but have really terrible gameplay, so you just don't touch it. So I think, obviously, the great combination is to have a great storyline and great gameplay. But you know, I've had games with a terrible storyline, but the gameplay's great and you just play it. So gameplay for me is what makes me pick up a game and continue playing it. Then it's the storyline, and then for me it's the music. Like you say, your music doesn't really matter to you, Cam, but if you're playing, say, The Witcher 3, and you're fighting one of the monsters, and the music there, they're bringing in that tension, like bringing it, like that draws you in, and that's the stuff that gets you like hyped, and you're like, oh my god, I'm getting nervous. Oh my god, you're on edge. Imagine if that wasn't there, and you were just playing that game, and it was just like silence.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but there's never. It just might not be amazing. That's my point, and I think it does maybe go towards the genre of games you two play and the genre of games I play, maybe, which is why I wouldn't put music so high, because it's not necessarily.
Would you play FIFA on mute?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could do.
It's just like that, isn't it? It's the like it brings.
Sometimes
the atmosphere.
I do. The commentary's dreadful.
Oh, the commentary's dreadful. Yeah, but the atmosphere and
Yeah, no, it's obviously better. Yeah. It's obviously better, with it, but it's just not my favourite thing.
And then it's graphics. Like I know we went through that period in time when I think it must have been was it PlayStation 4 era, maybe a bit before that, where it was like literally graphics was the thing. It's oh my god, how realistic can we make games? Blah blah blah. But you know what? I do like a good game, like you say, Callum. You do appreciate when you have got a really good graphical game, and you can see the sweat as you're running, coming down, and all whatnot. But I've also played great games that have been great that have a different style. I like games with different styles. I'm not saying I want to play a game where everything's square and blurry and I can't see, because that's like, if I want to do that, I'll play a PlayStation game or something. But I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be so realistic for me. I
don't think it embodies more than just pixel count, because you can have really good games that are pixelated, 16-bit, the HD 2D, like I said, of Live Alive and stuff. It's beautiful, but it's not like Horizon Forbidden West with tons of pixels and whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can play a game. Graphics can be. Some people would say, "Oh, I'm not playing that because it's not 3D and not real life." But
they don't.
Yeah, like for instance, Pokemon. For instance.
Yeah.
Callum, you're not happy with you weren't happy with the new Pokemon. Where you said the graphics could be better. For me, I think it's great. I mean, we're used to playing Game Boy, where when you battled, it was just a Pokemon's back, Pokemon's face, and that was it. And now we've got open world, and you can. I mean,
that was like 20 years ago. Though, it's 20 years, isn't it?
But it's RPG, like RPG based. You don't always get the But I think they've improved drastically.
I feel like I'm a repeating record, but FIFA.
Yeah.
Look at FIFA 20 years ago. Look at FIFA now.
Yeah.
It's been incremental, hasn't it? It's not been like that's the thing. That I think that's where we are with graphics.
Yeah.
We're in diminishing returns. Like you look at even like the remake, and when you really look in it, you see how good it is. But I would like to say, graphics we've got. So I don't know if you're familiar with Digital Foundry. They analyze pixels. They analyze frame rate. They will tear a game apart and just say this is what it is. I believe if you need someone to tell you how many pixels are in the thing, it's not that important. But if I can't tell if it's 1080 or 720 or whatever, then obviously it's not that important. If I can't tell if it's running 60 or 50, again, it is important to a certain extent, but it's not like
I also think that some games have tried to focus on the graphics too much, and it's actually hindered the game. It's broken the game. The game's unplayable because it's trying to load up so much stuff, and then they're like, "Oh no, we need to backtrack." And the selling point of it being realistic has just got.
I think we're entering a dangerous period as well, where because the new gen consoles are so good, and like the Unreal Engine and stuff like that are so good, that there's going to be a lot of beautiful rubbish games.
Oh yeah, 100%.
and I think we are, because I don't think it's that hard. That's a stupid thing to say, but I'm going to stick with it. I don't think it's that hard to make a beautiful game nowadays with the the backing that they have with the consoles and everything, and that does worry me slightly, because as someone who's a sucker for graphics, I'm going to buy some bad games. One that comes to mind for me is Forspoken, because Forspoken looks really good, but what is it? What is it?
It looked really good graphically, but then when they showed gameplay, it looked really awful.
Yeah, well, this is what I mean. But people might buy it because it looks nice.
I was just but that's our time on that.
I haven't done the rest of my.
Yeah.
I did.
It's too late,
I did
Richard.
gameplay, storyline, music, graphics, then it's innovation and length. There you go.
Excellent. So I think for topics, we'll leave it there. If you like this format and you want to see more episodes dedicated to topics, down in the comments below.
Also, if you want us to discuss a topic, leave us a comment, tweet to us. We're more than willing to discuss a topic. And if you have any questions as well, like if you agree with some things, just let us know. But if you've got something you want us to talk about, or you've got an opinion on this as well, then just let us know, and we'd like to
basically
discuss it.
Please comment. Just please anything.
We all know that the word for the comment section is hard on.
At the end of the episode, hard on is the comment if you've watched it all through to the end. We haven't finished yet. We do have our regular section.
Okay.
Of
I've worked on something.
Minigame.
I've worked on something.
Minigame.
Oh, Richard has worked on something. Is it his minigame skill? Is he 2-0 down?
Oh, no way.
Minigame.
That's so out of tune. That couldn't have been
For a laugh. I hadn't practiced anything. I just grabbed it.
Did you actually play the guitar?
Very badly. I've got a broken string as well. It's out of tune. It's out of tune and it's missing a string.
I don't know why I was expecting something.
I thought we were going to get a rendition of Wonderwall then. I thought we were going to get demonetized.
That was my whole idea. I thought they're going to think I'm going to do something here, and I was going to go dun 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 mini game.
Oh my word, that was amazing.
Yeah, perfect. Well, you carry on working on that, mate. We look forward to episode 100, where there was a fully fledged orchestral mini game.
That tickled me. That did.
I'll play the triangle. Ding.
So we've got mini game number 3. Callum is now leading the series 2-0. Can Ridges claw one back, or will Callum go into the lead? So just for... I create these mini games and they have no idea what's coming up. I don't even tell them the title, because then research is in it and then they can cheat. We don't want them cheating, do we now? So anyway, so this one is
just getting my beard on point for the mini game.
Mini game. This is mini game number 3.
Mini game number 3.
I found so many things since I've been packing away, like my mustache brush.
Get you some treasures there, mate. Some treasure.
Yeah.
But this mini game to end episode 4 is fact or fiction.
Ooh.
Video gaming stuff. So
Fact or fiction.
I found some facts. Then I looked up those facts to see if those facts were true. So if they're not true, and I say they're true, don't shoot me. Yeah, I've just collected a bunch of facts. So anyway, I will basically give you a fact. You tell me if it's fact or fiction. I'll give you yeah, that's the way to say it. Yeah, I'll give you a weird video game.
I'm locking it in.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
I'll say it, and then you can tell me whether you think it's fact or fiction. I'll go Ridges, and then Callum, or you can say it both at the same time, whatever, or we could do it however you like. So, anyway, question 1. Many of the Koopalings from the Super Mario games are named after famous musicians. Is that fact or fiction?
That's fact.
Callum, where we go? Fact or...
I mean, I was also going to go fact.
Excellent. Guys, both in on the scoreboard with 1. It's a fact.
Yes.
Most people, you've got the Ludwig, Iggy, Lemmy. You've got Rezno's named after the 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor. And he also created the soundtrack for Quake, I believe. I've got on my notes.
I don't believe there's one called Ridges yet, though, which doesn't make a lot of sense after that performance.
No. Question.
So we're 1-1. So we're both out of the blocks, 1-1. Okay, Mario's full name, I don't know if you know, is Mario. But did you know that Bowser's full name is Bowser Builder? Fact or fiction?
Is it me first?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, you go first.
I feel like this is Ridge's realm.
50-50.
Fact.
Fact.
I think it's fiction.
Fiction. It's actually fiction.
Oh.
Ridges takes a 2-1 lead.
I just thought you'd do fact. I'd like to get in your head.
I wouldn't try that. I literally just put them into a thing. And
first time I've ever been in the lead.
I'm in big trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Ubisoft's long-running and highly successful Assassin's Creed series was originally going to be a Prince of Persia spin-off. Fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fact because yeah, I think fact. I'm just going to go fact.
Okay.
I'm a gambling man. Fiction.
Oh, he's taking a commanding lead with 3-1. It's actually a fact.
No.
The game was called Prince of Persia Assassins, and it told the story of a female assassin tasked with protecting a prince in Jerusalem. That's why really they haven't really made many Prince of Persia games, because the Assassin's Creed's games took the format. Okay. Sonic the Hedgehog is inside all of us. A gene in our right brain is called Sonic the Hedgehog. Fact or fiction?
Is it me first?
Yep.
Fiction.
Fiction.
I was going to go fiction, but I feel like I have to go the other way round. But yeah, I'll go fiction.
Oh, boo!
It doesn't matter. It's a good job he did go fiction because it's a fact.
Yay!
The that separates your right brain from the left determines that you have two eyes. It's called Sonic Hedgehog. Fact.
That is stupid.
Apparently, this gene symbol is SHH. Apparently, it wasn't inspired by the game, but a comic book series. Yada yada yada. There was a few notes on that, but it's a fact. We all got Sonic the Hedgehog inside us. 3-1. We still remain Ridges leading.
Didn't get the perfect score.
You can't get a perfect score because you've already got one wrong.
Yes.
That's what he just said, flawed.
Oh, I thought you said I'm going for the perfect score, but it's too late. Okay, this one I feel like both of you should know.
Oh.
Because
it's good that it's finally a question I should know.
We are all UK residents, and this is a UK gaming fact.
Now I'm in trouble.
The UK versions of FIFA 2001 and Gran Turismo 2 shipped with scratch and sniff discs. Fact or fiction?
I think it's fiction.
So I'm assuming that both of you picked up FIFA 2001. Do you remember sniffing the disc?
No, I did not.
Yeah,
No?
fact.
Fact. And you think fiction?
Yeah, I don't remember sniffing discs.
3-2. I mean, Callum gave it away. He gave it away by saying he remembered sniffing him. So
Exactly, yeah.
Off you.
I knew it. I knew there was a scratch and sniff disc.
It was a scratch and sniff disc. I remember the scratches.
Yes.
I don't even think they were the first. I think there was a few, but in my notes I've got FIFA 2001.
I do not remember that.
Actually, yeah. So that's 3-2.
I didn't even get that game. I just remember sniffing my friend's disc. That's a good sentence.
Ooh. This has been a very R-rated.
And then Ford went to the shop to buy a GameCube.
Exactly. It was flawed.
Give me my GameCube. What? You mean this isn't currency? Where I come from, this is how we pay with everything.
This is a hold up. Give me a GameCube.
Yeah. 3-2. We're 3-2. Question 6. Dead Space was the first game to ever be played in space. Fact or fiction?
Callum first.
Was it me first?
Ridges first, I think.
No, I think it's me.
Okay, go for it.
Fiction.
Fiction.
I want to say fiction. I think Game Boy was played in space before.
It's got to be fiction.
I'm
and
sure.
Do you know why it's got to be fiction? Because it is.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'm sure. I thought someone played a Game Boy in space.
They did. You're correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I've completely misheard the question. I thought you said Dead Space was the first game set in space, not played in space. Oh god, I got away with that one. Goodness me.
It's 4-3. You're still one behind. Okay.
That was a close call.
Question 7.
How many questions are
there?
33.
10. Oh, okay, I'm just thinking like, how do I need to get some more right?
Link is named because he was designed as the link between the player and character. But did you know Peach was actually named Peach because Miyamoto claimed he always imagined she smelled like a peach?
I'm gonna go fact with that one. He's just a weirdo anyway. So
I was going to go
true.
back as well because similar reasoning.
So you're both going back?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it's fiction. So it's
no way!
That was a chance for Callum to get.
That's a very believable one, though.
Very believable. Yeah.
That is very believable.
What's the other one called? She Daisy. What's the
Daisy?
Daisy. Isn't it? Yeah, Daisy. Yeah.
So I was going to say Daisy because he imagined she smelled like a daisy. That would have been, but I went Peach. I don't know why. I just thought it was less believable. I guess. Okay, question 8. The shrooms in Mario are based on shrooms. Fact or fiction? Based on a real shroom.
Fiction.
Yeah, I'm gonna say fiction as well.
Oh,
Callum, you can change. Ridges, you can change. Are you both sticking with fiction?
fact.
Yeah. There you go. Back. Fine. It.
4-4. Yeah.
He's helping you there. He's like, "Are you sure? Are you actually sure you don't want to change?"
I did sort of nudge him forward there.
He gave both of us the chance.
I wasn't going to change.
Mushrooms in Mario games are based on the real-life psychedelic mushroom Amanita muscaria. Once ingested, the mushroom actually make people feel larger. It's why in the game you get bigger. So anyway, yeah,
I knew that.
Mario's a doggy.
This particular question, up next. I'll explain.
Which question are we on for?
9.
9.
2 more. And it's 4-4.
4.
The voices in Golden Axe were voiced by death row inmates. Fact or fiction?
I think it's you, Ridges.
I'm going to say fiction because one of them's a woman. I don't know if they would have a woman on death row.
I don't know why, but I've got this thing in the back of my head that I think I've heard that. So I'm going to go with fact. Let's have a decider here.
Okay, well, I will tell you that this is widely reported as fact. And I had it as a fact.
Oh, come on now.
I researched, and it's not a fact. This is just what they said. It was actually they were at the screams and yells were taken from action movies and altered. They weren't screams from death row inmates, but it was widely reported as a fact. But that will
5-4,
give it a lead,
which means I can't lose. I cannot lose.
Well, you can, because it'll go to a tiebreaker, Ridges.
Well,
are you not aware of games?
I can't lose the actual round. Like I've lost way before, but so that I'm going to take that as a win.
Yeah, take it as a win.
Right. Question 10. Miyamoto, the creator of Mario, had a Mario-themed wedding in Japan. Fact or fiction?
I don't know. I want to go. The problem I've got here is whatever I say, Ridges will just say the same and win.
Ridges can go first.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to say fact, because he's just...
That's what I was going to say as well, so I'll say fiction, but I think he's right.
It is he created it. It's like where he's made all his money. He's very weird. I could see it.
He loves the smell of peaches.
I could see his wife being dressed up as Peach, and he's got a red suit on. I could see
he's going to be dressed up as Peach.
His wife's got a red suit on.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely fiction.
Okay. Oh, we have a problem, guys. I haven't prepared a tiebreaker, and it's 5-5. It was fiction.
Go fact as well.
I could easily have said fiction and done, gone for the win, but
you could.
Little thing we're gonna have as a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let me just get this little thing.
I've got my buzzer ready.
Who? Okay, wait. No, actually, you don't need a buzzer. I'm just gonna. I want basically the official PlayStation Twitter account has how many follows to the decimal point?
Oh, blimey!
This wins. I mean, it's the only thing I have in front of me without me having to trawl the internet and waste time on the podcast.
I feel like I should go first because Ridges went first on the last one. I have absolutely no idea. I'm trying to put in my... I mean, I've got 200 followers, so probably more than that. Is it going to be over 100 million? Probably not. 82.4 million.
Ridges, for the game, give me a number that you believe.
See, all you've got to do is go higher or lower, Ridges. That's all you've got to do to
I'm
win.
just thinking, what in...
I've given you the goal. It's an open goal. The keeper's on the floor.
I'm gonna go 69.4 million.
I think that's the right call.
I think that is the right call. I know that's the right call. You both massively overshot it, but Ridges is this week's winner.
Well done, Ridges.
25.7 million followers.
25?
25.7 million.
Wait, 16-bit rivals have got more than that.
We will have. We're coming for your PlayStation.
Graham Norton hasn't mentioned PlayStation once this year.
No.
It's because they haven't released any games. That's what it is. Yeah. PlayStation, sort it out.
It must
be. Remember, it's just the PlayStation official account. There are many offshoots of PlayStation account. So.
Believe me.
So well done, Ridges. He's clawed one back in the table. Is that
deserved? Deserved win that, in my opinion. I think you bested me.
It was a riveting game. We had to go to the tiebreaker again.
The well planned out tiebreaker.
Yes.
Callum, just for you.
You almost missed.
I hit the boxes behind.
Oh dear.
Right.
Should we wrap it up?
We'll wrap it up. Callum, where can we find you?
Why Callum on Twitch, YouTube, Why Callum Y on Twitter, or in my house. But please don't come to my house.
Ridges, where can we find you?
Yeah.
Not in this house anymore.
No, not in this house as of this week, end of this week. Ridges on Twitch. I am Gamer Ridges on Twitter, and it's Ridges Tube on the old YouTube.
Lovely. And you can find me, Fraud Gamer, on Twitter, and Fraud Gamer on Twitch. That's it, really. And then here on 16-Bit Rivals YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And if you're watching, like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Yes,
please.
And comment to let us know you've watched it. Hard on.
And also,
comment. Because no one's mentioned that yet. Let's make sure we get some comments. Can we go for more than one comment this week? Come on, everyone. Yeah.
I'm going to say 3.
Not including us.
Yeah. 3. 3. Not including us.
Not including us. But Thank you for joining us for episode 4. We will be back as soon as Richard is nice and settled in his lovely home with his lovely family. And we will be back and we will be sharing the news. We will be back to our original format, but let us know what you thought of this format, this episode. How did you do in the game? Good night, everyone. Have a fun week.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.